I think I found the closest thing to a hack for getting in shape. But before I go over it, why should you listen to me? In April 3rd, 2022, I looked like this. I was fat and unhealthy, and I had a hard time walking, just walking down the street. But then, 1 year later, through having a good diet and training, I looked like this. I got in shape. The funny thing was that at the time, I was all for discipline, but I was not that disciplined. Looking back in retrospect, I won't say that I was full on lazy, but I was playing video games for a few hours per day, I was watching anime, I was doing all of these things, but I still managed to see great results. But on the other side, in these days, when I have adopted the Goggins mentality, where I run each and every week 20, 40, 60 kilometers, I've also trained 6 times per week, when I'm doing all of that hard work, I basically haven't seen much greater results than back in those days. That's just to prove the point that the hack is that effective. By using it, you will be able to get a lot of results with not that much work. And that's the hack. Discipline is key, right? But that's not a useful thought, because discipline can be used in a lot of ways. It's not that discipline is key, it's how you use it. What you should do is to find ways to leverage discipline, not leverage discipline. Going to a workout once is using a lot of discipline and getting one workout in. A leveraged way to use discipline is to buy some equipment to your house, to pay the price using money and self-control, and have a way easier time getting your workouts in. Leverage is key because it can give you 10, 20, 30 times the amount of the same units of discipline by just doing a different action. It's the how, not the what. We all know that we need discipline, but how you use it is the actual key. And that's what I call leverage discipline, and that's the hack. When I started my fitness journey, I will go over it really quickly, that's how I used it basically. I realized that training is a non-negotiable, resistance training especially. I also realized that a diet, being on a calorie deficit, is another non-negotiable for weight loss. I found these fundamental things that there is no denying that they are important, and I found ways to implement them with more ease. Instead of eating really clean foods and with a massive deficit, after doing it for a week I realized, oh, that's unsustainable. That's not something I can do. This use of my discipline is not that smart. Let's do something else instead. Let's eat on 1,000 deficit, which is still a massive deficit, but let's include Coke Zero in my diet. Let's reduce the amount of discipline I need to use, but to get more out of it. For the first 3 months of training in the gym, I trained twice per week and I used a full body split. I spent around 1 to 1.5 hours in the gym, but I got a lot of results. I used the newbie gains phase correctly, and I leveraged my discipline. I used it in what mattered the most. It's probably not what you expected me to say, but basically outside of this, outside of using discipline to do things that give you more results, the how part, there are not a lot of hacks. At the end of the day, getting in shape boils to consistently doing the right things. And the closest thing to a hack for consistently doing the right things is this. It is making doing the hard things easier. What's the actionable step of this video? Here it is. Take a piece of paper. That's a thought exercise you do, and then you actually implement it. You take a piece of paper, you write headers, one for training, one for dieting, and one for recovery. And below it, you write the major actions for each thing, the non-negotiables. For example, for training in the gym, resistance training is a non-negotiable. Training hard, fucking God, getting close to muscular failure, non-negotiable. In diet, eating your protein for the day, non-negotiable. Hitting your calorie goal for the day, non-negotiable. But then there are less important things below those things. Find ways to tweak them. Let's say the quality of the food you eat. If you have an easier time losing weight when consuming artificial sweeteners, then that's one way to make it easier. Find ways to make it easier. Find ways to still do the fundamentals, still get them right, still get the intensity right, still get the progressive overload right, still get the minimum amount of volume you need to do right, but make sure you implement it in a way that is the easiest. And I'm not saying it to make you a bitch. I'm all for discipline these days. As you probably know, I work out a lot. This video is not to tell you fuck hard work, just do smart work. It is just to find a balance. I'm all for balance, but I'm also all for controlling yourself, from learning the art of discipline. The balance is great for results. Discipline is great for becoming the guy you wanna be. And right, it might sound a bit cringe. I get it. But listen to me, because I've experienced it. Having as much discipline as possible is great. Accustoming your mind to more discipline, to doing the right things more, to becoming the guy you wanna be more, is absolutely awesome, and I have nothing against it. It's just that a lot of people twist it and have it wrong. It's not that you do the most amount of hard work. Not just the most amount of hard work. You do the most amount of hard work with the right how. Do the most amount of hard work with the hard, smart work. Doing hard work for no apparent reason is dumb. Doing hard work for the sake of a certain goal is absolutely awesome. Doing the most amount of work hardship wise, using the smartest ways to do it, is the best. And that's what you should do. That's the actionable step, is to find ways to do work smarter, to find ways to make work easier. Listening to music with your headphones, sign up to a closer gym, all of these ways, and by doing so, have an easier time to do the fundamentals and get the results of the fundamentals, which is getting in shape. And that's basically it. If you enjoyed this video, you can like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.